Hello boys and girls and parents of Oscar International School. We're getting back to school start now on Monday, so we look forward to seeing everybody back in school, bright and chirpy. I'm very excited to meet all the new students coming into grade 1 as well. I just wanted to make a quick video to get some important messages shared with everybody so you are familiar with what to do when you arrive at school. So first and foremost, I would like to remind everybody now that we're still in the world of COVID. We haven't escaped that just yet, but on the positive side, it is green level now, so it's not as strict as it has been, but we have to still be very careful when it comes to making sure we wash our hands when we come to school, and we have to kind of maintain distance a little bit and make sure that we don't have any physical contact. So as I said, right now it's green level, and fingers crossed that we go back to a normal schooling in the near future, but we have to make sure we're looking after each other. So there's a couple of changes when it comes to school start and the entrances and exits that we're using and where the boys and girls are. For example, up here at the entrance of the school, at the top level, we're going to have grade 8 students. So 2 grade 8 classes are going to be using this front door. The grade 7s are also going to use the front door for coming in the morning, and they are going down to the next floor down. That's where their classrooms will be located. So I'm going to take you around the side of the building now to show you where the other grades will be going in and out, because it's not the same as last year. So as you can see now, I've walked down behind the gymnasium, and this is the PYP playground area and the MYP behind me. I'm going to show you now where the entrance for the grade 6, 9 and 10 classes will be. So they'll enter through this door behind me, which leads in behind the school kitchen, and they'll exit through this door as well. Now we're at the entrance on the PYP playground, and this is where the bulk of the students will be coming in and going out. So grades 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 will enter through this door and exit through this door. Last year we had some students going through the door on the far side, but now we've decided to kind of control all the population through this door. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about the morning routine, because that's really important. The grades 7, 8, 9 and 10 will go into the school and straight into their classrooms no matter what time it is. Grades 1 to 6 will come down to this back door in the morning and go into the art room, and that is between 7:30 when we open and 8:15. At 8:15, grades 1 to 6 will go outside onto the playground and be out on the playground until we collect them again at 8:45. So it's really, really important now, boys and girls and parents, that when the students arrive in the morning, especially after 8:15, that they're weather ready. So that means that, because in this lovely country we live in, it could be raining like it's going to do right now. It could be snowing, so they have to make sure they're dressed appropriately for the weather. So please help your child, be prepared, and boys and girls, take responsibility for your own clothes. Younger kids are usually very, very good. It's the older kids that need a bit of a reminding now and again. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about the end of the school day to make sure parents know where they collect their children. Now, children who go home on their own and have permission to do so, they will basically just exit the school as normal. The younger grades 1 to 5 will otherwise line up in the playground, and you can see some signs on the back fence marking the different classes 1A through to 5B. So they'll line up here at the end of the day, and parents will come into the playground and will enter down to the playground just to this area here, and we will dismiss children when we see parents. It is really important that parents do not tell their children to wait for them in the car park. And the reason we say this is for safety reasons, because we need to know who is being collected and who hasn't been collected. Because if the children are going out to the car park, especially in the winter time, it's dark, it's not safe, and we can't trust other drivers to be aware that there could be small children in the car park, or any children for that matter. So it's really important that we take care and the children are supervised. We take great pride in the fact that we supervise the children all the time, so safety is paramount. And this also goes for if you want to have somebody else collect your child, or someone else is picking them up, we need to be notified early. Otherwise, we will not let them be picked up by someone who hasn't been confirmed. And boys and girls, it's also very important to remember that if you want to go on a play date with your friend, You need to get your parents to organise that the day before, because if you ask me at 3:30 on a Monday if you can go to a friend's house, then I'm just going to say no, because you have to remember there are 360 students, so we can't have an overview of all these things unless parents notify us. So this is all health and safety, please, so please remember that's very, very important. Now, we are still in COVID, so it's very important that remember the routines. Parents are still not allowed in the building at this moment in time. That's to do with COVID and it's to do with general health and safety. That being said, Mr. Andrew, the head of primary, and Mr. Brent, the MYP coordinator, will arrange scheduled walkthroughs for those parents who would like to do it or want to do it. So you just have to contact those people and they'll basically accommodate. In addition to this, because we want to get the parents more involved, and it's been very frustrating. Last year, there were some parents who hadn't even been in the school at all, and they didn't get to know the teachers, and it's very frustrating for us as well. So we're going to have breakfast mornings. Under the current rules, we're allowed to. But we're very, very mindful of health and safety and of COVID, obviously. So we've decided to use, as you see behind me, there's this big building in Norwegian, it's called the Browne. In English, I affectionately know it's known as a porta-cabin. And it's a perfect size because it's two big classrooms of 50 meters squared. There's 3 bathrooms inside and there's a separate area where food could be prepared. So we're going to send out an overview for parents where one class at a time, so 20 students at a time, will use the whole area. So there's plenty of space for people to move around, and that will give parents an opportunity to meet and greet the teacher, meet and greet the kids, and of course meet and greet each other, because that's a very important part of being a member of Oscar International School community. So that information will come out soon by email. Now, as I said, we understand that it can be quite frustrating that there's additional access. We have to understand that for us to maintain this health and safety, we can't have free flow into the school. If a parent needs to go into school to pick something up, they forgot it, once the students have all exited the building, the parents can come into the building, but with once they have confirmed with a member of staff. We need to have an overview of who's in the building at all times. So you can please most likely use the front entrance to do so. So we have an overview. And finally, one last thing I'd like to remind people is about COVID testing. Some people have been traveling, much akin to myself. I've also been traveling, so we have to make sure that we have an overview, and we have the responsibility to look up on www.fhi.no to understand what the current rules and regulations are for testing and for quarantining. So please, parents and children, make sure that you're taking care of yourself in order to take care of everybody else. And if we make sure that we have the right information at all times, then we can ensure the safety of everybody in Oscar International School and in our general and greater community as well. So as I said, www.fhi.no, the rules have changed and they will most likely change again. And if you have any doubts about it, we can give you some advice, but ultimately we're not doctors, we're not the officials who make these decisions, we are just following the rules that are set for us. And on that note, boys and girls and parents, if you are symptomatic, if you have COVID, please remember, if you have one of the symptoms of COVID, you cannot be coming into the school building. Again, the information on what those symptoms are available online, and you have to decide when and how and if you need to be tested. As I said, we are available for any questions you may have, so feel free to reach out, but ultimately it's the authorities to make these decisions, not the school. On a final note, I would like to just mention that we will be sending out additional information. We are managing this change. There's been a lot of changes over the past 2 years. It's been quite challenging and stressful for parents and for the boys and girls and for the teachers and for pretty much everybody. So we can't guarantee that these further changes won't come. They very well might come. And in the event they do, we will be sending out additional information either through video. A lot of the information we send out is available on the web page, and we'll also send out emails. So we will do our best to make sure that we are communicating clearly with parents and the boys and girls at all time. For now, I hope everybody's had a lovely summer vacation, irrespective of whether you spent here in Norway or overseas. I look forward to seeing all our students returning on Monday morning, and I look forward to, if we get some nice weather, welcoming the grade 1 to a sunny first day at school. And to remember, the grade 1 will start a little bit later, so please remember that you've checked your email and make sure you've checked the information that you've received from the school about the routines for the first week. For now, bye bye, take care, have a nice weekend.